Stop. I need to ask you something. Have you been feeling constantly tired lately? Do you feel a strange heaviness in your stomach? Can't quite explain why? Maybe the answer lies in the anger you've been holding inside. The fear. Those endless thoughts that never seem to stop. Because 2,000 years ago, Chinese physicians discovered something. Emotions don't just live in your mind. They seep into your body. They disrupt your organs. And they can make you sick. Modern medicine is only beginning to accept this. But Chinese medicine has known it for centuries. Today, we're going to talk about the Huangdi Neijing, the Yellow Emperor's classic of medicine, and the 2,000-year-old secret hidden within it. Chapter 1. What is Huangdi Neijing? Now let's take a step back to the Han Dynasty, which ruled between 206 BCE and 220 CE. During this period, Chinese physicians wrote something humanity had never seen before. They called it Huangdi Neijing, the inner classic of the Yellow Emperor. This was not just a medical text. It was also one of the first comprehensive works to describe the human mind, emotions, and body as a unified whole. And within it, there was a striking idea. The root of all diseases lies in emotions. Think about that for a moment. No X-rays, no MRI, no microscopes. Yet these people recognized a truth that modern medicine had not even begun to define at the time. For centuries, Western medicine treated the body and mind as separate. The soul wasn't the surgeon's concern. The brain belonged to philosophers. But ancient Chinese medicine never made this distinction. To them, a human being was a single, interconnected system, and emotions were one of its most essential parts. Chapter 2. 5 Emotions, 5 Organs. The Huangdi Neijing states that 5 fundamental emotions are directly connected to 5 different organs. And these connections were not random, they were based on thousands of years of observation. Are you ready? Let's see where you fall on this list. 1. Anger, liver. Think of people who are constantly angry, irritable, tense, reactive to everything. What happens over time? Liver problems begin. Ancient Chinese physicians said this 2,000 years ago. Modern science now shows that chronic anger and hostility can raise liver enzyme levels even if you don't drink alcohol. In Chinese medicine, the liver is not just an organ. It is the home of decision-making, planning, and the will to direct life. Anger burns this home down. How many times did you truly get angry this week? 2. Fear kidneys. Fear, the feeling that freezes you, cuts your breath, makes your legs tremble. According to Chinese medicine, excessive and chronic fear wears down the kidneys. People who are constantly on edge, always in survival mode, experience faster depletion of kidney energy. Modern medicine reflects this in another way. Individuals who have experienced trauma show a higher risk of kidney disease. Cortisol, the stress hormone, can directly damage the kidneys. And interestingly, even in Turkish we say, I felt drained from fear. The body already knows this connection. 3. Grief and sadness, lungs. What do you feel when you lose someone? A heaviness in your chest. Breathing becomes difficult. It's as if your lungs are tightening. This is not a coincidence. The Huangdi Neijing says deep grief weakens the lungs. Modern research supports this. During mourning, the immune system weakens, lung capacity decreases, and vulnerability to respiratory illness increases. Grief is not just an emotion, it is the body physically losing balance. That's why, in Chinese medicine, people who are grieving were advised to practice deep breathing exercises to revive the lungs. 4. Overthinking and worry, spleen, digestion. Let me ask you something. When you're stressed about an exam or facing a big decision, does your stomach feel uneasy? Of course it does, because the digestive system and the brain are directly connected. Chinese medicine described this as depletion of spleen energy. Excessive thinking, worry, and mental fatigue disrupt digestion. Today, we call this the gut-brain axis. IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, is directly linked to anxiety. Neurologists even refer to the gut as the second brain. 2,000 years ago, Chinese physicians intuitively described this through the concept of the spleen. 5. Excessive joy, heart. Wait, can joy be harmful too? Not exactly, but excessive and sudden joy? According to the Huangdi Neijing, one of the things that strains the heart the most is intense, sudden excitement. It may sound strange, but think about it. People having heart attacks at the moment of a goal in a football match, elderly individuals fainting after receiving extremely good news. In medicine, This is known as Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, also called broken heart syndrome. Both extreme grief and extreme joy can physically damage the heart. Chinese medicine placed balance above everything. Not too much grief, not too much joy. Balance. Chapter 3. What does modern science say? Okay, ancient Chinese medicine said this, but isn't it just philosophy? No, it isn't. Over the past 30 years, the field we call psychosomatic medicine has been answering exactly these questions, and the findings are remarkable. Study 1. Anger and the liver. A study published in 2004 showed that individuals with high levels of chronic anger had significantly elevated liver enzyme levels, independent of alcohol consumption. Study 2. Trauma and the kidneys. Long-term research from Harvard Medical School revealed that individuals who experienced childhood trauma have up to a 40% higher risk of developing chronic kidney disease in adulthood. Study 3. Grief and the lungs. Research conducted on individuals who lost their spouses found that during the first months of grief, the immune system weakens significantly and susceptibility to respiratory infections increases. Study 4. Anxiety and digestion. Today, more than 60% of patients with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, are also diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. The discovery of the gut-brain axis has effectively erased the boundary between gastroenterology and psychology. So what Chinese medicine was saying was not, "You're just overthinking." On the contrary, it was saying, "Your body and mind are a single system. When you neglect one, the other suffers." And this perspective is exactly where 21st century medicine is trying to arrive. Chapter 4. The concepts of qi, xin, and balance. So how did Chinese medicine explain this connection? Through 3 fundamental concepts: xin, heart-mind. In Chinese, the words for heart and mind are written with the same character. Xin, one symbol, one meaning. This is not a coincidence. Ancient Chinese thinkers believed that thinking and feeling come from the same place. Mental and emotional experiences were inseparable. Today, neuroscience supports this idea. It is impossible to make rational decisions without emotional centers. The amygdala, the brain's center for fear and emotion, is in constant communication with the prefrontal cortex. Without emotion, logic does not function. Qi, life energy. Qi is the energy that flows within the body. Modern medicine does not use this concept directly. But think of it this way. A person under chronic stress experiences a weakened immune system, increased fatigue, and reduced resistance to illness. Chinese medicine would describe this as qi depletion. Emotional blockages interrupt the flow of qi, and over time, these blockages can transform into physical illness. Balance, the essence of everything. The ultimate goal of Chinese medicine was neither to simply treat disease, nor to suppress symptoms. The goal was to preserve balance. Not excessive anger, but not suppressed anger either. Not overwhelming fear, but not total fearlessness. To experience emotions but not become their prisoner. This is exactly what modern psychotherapy teaches today. Emotional regulation, emotional flexibility, mindfulness. Different words, same truth. Section 5. What does this leave you with? So what does all of this leave you with? Realize this. Ignoring your emotions is not a solution. Your body already knows. It quietly stores everything. And one day, it shows up in the most unexpected way. For those who are constantly angry but hold it in, your liver pays the price. For those who live in fear for years, your kidneys grow silently exhausted. For those who bury their sadness, your lungs begin to tighten. For those who never stop thinking, your stomach starts to protest. This is not a blame. On the contrary, it's an invitation. Make peace with your emotions, recognize them, express them. Because what ancient Chinese physicians understood 2,000 years ago was this: a healthy body is only possible with a healthy mind. And a healthy mind is found not by suppressing your emotions, but by making peace with them. Final. What do you think about this topic? Western medicine kept the body and mind separate for centuries. Ancient China never did. Maybe. They were right. If this video made you think, write this in the comments. Which emotion do I think affects my body the most? I'm really curious about your answers. See you in the next video.